Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at another figure from DinoZoo. It's their 135 scale Stegoros. This is another figure from DinoZoo that I was very looking forward to. Stegoros made a lot of headlines in the dinosaur community near the end of last year. It is a new type of armored dinosaur from South America, and right off the bat you have to notice this is 135 scale. Look how tiny the packaging is on this figure. This is definitely one of the smallest dinosaur figures I currently have in my collection. When I open up the box, I just chuckle to myself because the packaging and the size of the figure is just absolutely adorable. Now, unfortunately, the painted version of this figure is already sold out. If you're ever interested in getting anything from DinoZoo, I highly recommend that you just place your pre-orders right away. They do very small production runs of their figures, but there is a way you can get this figure. They were kind enough to send me the unpainted version. Now, if you go to WildPass, they do 3D printing for other dinosaur companies, and some of DinoZoo's figures are available for 3D printing through WildPass Shapeways store. So if you want to get a Stegoros figure from DinoZoo, that is the best way to go about it. It comes in 135 scale and also 120 scale. I'll leave a link down below to WildPass Shapeways stores for those of you that do want to get your hands on this figure. And I will definitely be painting this little unpainted figure up sometime in the near future. So let's go over the packaging really quick. Before we crack this tiny figure open, you got the DinoZoo logo down here. You can see a little window box display with the Stegoros front and center. Top of the box, Stegoros. Ellen Gaston's 135 scale figure. DinoZoo logo on the side. You get some nice artwork of the Stegoros on the back. And then inside the box, which I already took everything out, you do get the tiniest little postcard with the same artwork that is on the back of the packaging. You also do get an even smaller card with some facts about Stegoros. So that will do it for the packaging. Let's crack this figure open and take a closer look. And let's start with this 360-degree view of the Stegoros. I just love how tiny and teeny and adorable this figure is. I knew it was going to be small, but it totally caught me off guard when I got it in the mail, and I absolutely love this thing. Now, Stegoros is a type of Paraankylosauria. They are a group of ankylosaurs that are known from the southern hemisphere, and if you watch Prehistoric Planet, Antarctopelta is also in that group. Now, this dinosaur made headlines at the end of last year, mainly because of its unique tail weapon. It looks very similar to I'm probably going to say it wrong, to a Makuhit, which is an Aztec sword, and the tail on this thing looks very, very similar to that weapon. I think DinoZoo did a great job sculpting the tail. The whole figure is beautifully sculpted. It's so tiny, but when you look up real close, there's a lot of fine detail on there, and I just love the very natural paint job they did it. They gave this thing, because like I said, this thing is so tiny. There's some nice fine like white striping all over the body. I just think this figure just turned out absolutely fantastic. I think he only did maybe around 10 or 15 of this figure, and this makes this thing extra special. There's so few of them out there, and I'm very, very happy to have this in my collection. And now for some quick measurements. This figure is just about 2.2 inches long, or about 5.5 centimeters, and just about a ½ inch taller, or 1.25 centimeters. So Stegoros in real life is estimated between 5.9 and 6.6 feet long. So I'll put this figure somewhere in the 132 to the 136 scale range. And now let's zoom in and take a look at some of the finer details on this teeny tiny figure, as best as my camera will allow. It's so small, my camera just does not like focusing in on it, but let's see what we can see. The head is nicely sculpted. Let's just zoom out a little bit so it gets a little bit sharper. You can see the mouth is sculpted open. The whole figure is painted in shades of brown and white stripes with just a little bit of rusty orange for good measure. It gives a very nice natural looking color scheme. Here it is from the front, and I just love how tiny this is. We need more 135 scale dinosaurs that are just nice and tiny like this. They look just great with our collections. You can see all the osteoderms along the back and neck are nicely sculpted. There's actually some nice fine scale details sculpted in there. You can see some of that nice white striping. The hind legs are slender and thin. This animal could be a little bit more agile than a typical ankylosaur. And then going down to the tail, you can see that Makuhita style tail weapon, and that is the big draw of this figure. That's why it was so popular when it was described, and it was popping up all over the place on YouTube. Every dinosaur YouTube channel was talking about this dinosaur. And I think the way they sculpted it came out really, really nice. So yeah, all around just a really great looking figure. I just love this tiny size of this thing. It's just absolutely incredible looking. I think what did I pay for that? I think I paid $17, and it was definitely worth every penny. It's always nice to support the small companies that are doing obscure dinosaurs like this, because a lot of other companies probably will not give us figures this small. So yeah, just really quite happy with this thing, and I can't wait to paint up the unpainted one, just so I can have like a little pair of these on my shelf. So yeah, quite pleased with this little thing. And now moving on with comparisons. First up here is Collecta's little 140 scale human, just to give you a general idea of how small this dinosaur species was. And next up here is DinoZoo's previous offering. Here is their Cattydokus, another fantastic figure from them. And next up, let's do some armored dinosaurs. First up is PNSO's Borrelia pelta, and next up is also PNSO's Panachosaurus, and let's do one more. PNSO, here is their amazing looking Ankylosaurus, and here is Safari Limited, awesome looking Sauropelta. And next up, let's do PNSO's Stegosaurus, because Par Ankylosauria did diverge off Stegosaurs early on in the Jurassic. And let's do a few South American dinosaurs. First up here is Safari Limited's Giganotosaurus, and next up is another Safari figure that is tangled in my microphone. Here is their Patagotitan, and lastly for South American dinosaur, here is PNSO's Carnotaurus. And lastly, always going to do it, here it is with Tyrannosaurus Rex. So final thoughts on DinoZoo's Stegosaurus. I absolutely love this thing. I just think the size of it is what really appeals to me. It's not often we get 135 scale dinosaur figures this small, and I just think this thing is just absolutely fantastic. It's very well painted despite the size of it, nicely sculpted. DinoZoo only has 2 products out right now, and both have been absolutely fantastic. They have a lot more stuff coming out. They have an Orcoraptor, they're doing a Saurophaganax, and they're doing Hank the Tank T-Rex from Prehistoric Planet, all in 135 scale. So if you're interested in any of those figures, I highly recommend that you do follow DinoZoo. I have links to their Facebook and Instagram down below in the description. I'm really excited for their Prehistoric Planet T-Rex. Seems like everyone's rushing out to do one, but they're actually doing theirs in 135 scale, and I'm really excited for that one. And like I said earlier, this painted version is sold out, but you can still get a 3D printed unpainted one from Wild Past Studios. The link to their Shapeways store is also down below in the description. It comes in 2 sizes, 135 scale and 120 scale. So that will do it for the review. The PNSO Acrocanthosaurus should be coming in really soon. My Namu Parasaurolophus finally made it out of shipping hell, and it should be here sometime this week, so be on the lookout for those reviews. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and is greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys for the next one.